Grime Time.
In the company of Britain's most compelling commentator, director at Reasoned UK, a popular conservative channel, it's Darren Grimes. Hi, Darren.
Hi, Mark.
What we've learnt in the course of this pandemic is that when the European Union are in a hole, they keep on digging. Tell me about Japan issuing a warning to Brussels.
Yes, so as well as, by the way, before I go on to Japan, Pfizer are admitting that it might ditch its German biotech firm that's made the breakthrough coronavirus jab as it looks to actually expand its vaccine business elsewhere. And I think it's quite clear to me that the EU is shooting itself in the foot. It seems to be pretty good at doing that, doesn't it? It doesn't have its own EU army yet, but it seems to be doing a pretty good job at blowing things up. And Japan's vaccine minister has clearly been spooked by all of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, on the Pfizer story, which is fascinating that you've unearthed this one, Darren, that essentially it's a major blow to business confidence on the continent. It's the idea that the EU as a structure could tear up a contract or even a blockade a factory just on a whim, which has so troubled international investors, including a huge company like Pfizer.
Exactly. And I mean, we heard the EU wax lyrical about the sanctity of the EU single market and how good it was for international and open trade. When you've got Japan's vaccine minister coming and saying, well, actually, you know, in no uncertain terms, you are jeopardizing diplomatic relations between Japan and the EU should you actually ban the export of vaccines, which have been signed for, paid for by Japan. It's not that Japan's fault that the EU have been so, I guess, laid back and laissez-faire about signing these contracts and paying for things themselves. But what the EU are doing, and I think you're absolutely right to highlight this, Mark, the EU is setting a pretty horrible precedent as far as contract law and property rights are concerned. And once you start doing that, you start to get in Banana Republic territory and look more like Venezuela than Brussels.
Indeed. And of course, I think possibly the EU could characterise this particular crisis as a kind of EU versus Britain in order to kind of, make it more politically palatable to the populations on the continent. But actually now they're fighting a war on two fronts. They've got to worry about the Japanese, about British public opinion, and what the rest of the world thinks, because the world is watching.
Exactly, yeah. And I think businesses are watching, and if there's anything that the EU like, it's corporate interest. So there we are.